Yes, and here we are with the Bajan Avengers, Tehron, King, and Kelan Phillips. So they're here to talk in the paint, and in the paint they are having, we'll start with the East first, and we'll go to Tehron. Tehron, let's start with the East. What's happening in the East there?
Well, as we all know would happen eventually, James Harden is finally feeling a bit more comfortable off of that injury that he suffered last season. And he's catching form, and they're actually on a 5-game win streak, if my memory serves me correctly. 76ers are having, strangely enough, even though they're shorthanded, they're on a 6-game win streak. So those two elite East teams have picked it up. The Heat played a terrible game against the Celtics the other day, but bounced back against the Jazz. The Wizards also look good. The Bulls have been slipping a little bit of late, but I think they lost 2 in a row. But they are. I still have them to be one of the top teams in the East.
Right. So what about Philadelphia is 8-2, and I really wanted to talk about Ben Simmons because I don't understand what Philadelphia was thinking. I don't understand the thinking in Philadelphia as it relates to Ben Simmons because he has made it clear that he really don't want to play for them.
I don't think they understand.
Right. So it seems as though 2 alpha males, quote unquote alpha males of the pack are butting heads. You have the star player and the GM trying to show the biggest horns, basically. Ben Simmons has refused to join in team practice. Ben Simmons has refused to, at one point, even come to the facility. And Daryl Morey is saying, we just signed you on a 4-year contract. This is year 1. We can do this for 4 years. I'm not budging. And that's what is going on right there. I think Daryl Morey just stating his claim as the alpha in the situation, and Ben Simmons is trying to do the same. Ben Simmons is no Jimmy Butler. He can't bully his way out of that franchise if Daryl Morey does not want him to go. That's what I think.
Remember when Jimmy Butler was there, Daryl Morey wasn't there. So there's two different GMs.
I meant Jimmy Butler at the Timberwolves. How he bullied his way out of Minnesota.
I'm still a little. I don't know what is the end game for both things, the team and Ben Simmons. I don't know what the end game because I don't know how you can play with somebody that you really don't want to play for.
Yeah,
so I don't know how that will go. But that's the East. But Philadelphia is still doing well. If they were struggling properly, he would have Ben Simmons has some leverage.
Before we move on, I actually want to talk on that really quick. It is crazy the fact that I think Tobias Harris either has COVID or he's at least in protocol or something like that. Ben Simmons has refused to play. And Philadelphia is at the top of the East on a 6-game winning streak. And another quick nugget. There have been trade rumors. Apparently the Celtics are engaged in talks with the 76ers for Ben Simmons. And Shams Charania has reported that any deal, in terms of money and stuff, any deal that sends Ben Simmons to the Celtics would have to involve Jaylen Brown to match contracts and what's not. I don't see the Celtics moving him, but if they did, which would be a minor move to me, it would clear up the logjam on the wing, make Tatum freer to do the things he wants to do, and give them a lead point guard. So it would be a good move in that sense. But I think 76ers win that trade. If you have a starting five of Steph Curry, Jaylen Brown, Tobias Harris, either Korkmaz or Niang and Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid surrounded by good shooters and you have Matisse Tadou who can play defense. If he doesn't go in the trade and Jaylen Brown, that team is going to be scary in the East if they are completely healthy.
Okay. All right. So then we move over to the East, and over there in the East. Well, before we move over, Tehron, what about your team of the week? Who you were saying? Who would you say was the team of the week?
Funny enough, the team of the week for me has got to be the same 76ers. As I just said, they're banged up with a lot of missing bodies. and they are still on the highest win streak in the Eastern Conference at 6 games. I have to shout out though the Cavaliers. I don't really believe in the Cavaliers, but they're also on a 4-game winning streak. My player of the week for me, I don't think the team is doing very well since the injury to Patrick Williams, but DeMar DeRozan has been balling out for the Chicago Bulls. I have to give that man his props. He is a bucket.
Okay. All right, so we are over to the West now. The West is a little bit more team. So what's happening in the West? They're Avenger number 2.
All right, we got a couple of teams are trending up, and a couple of teams are trending down. We got the Suns, the Warriors, and the Clippers are all on 4-game winning streaks right now. The Clippers started out at 1-4, and they won their last 4 to get back above 500. Warriors doing Warriors thing, and the Suns were shaky out of the gate, but they are also doing well the last week. Trending down, Timberwolves lost straight. They started out decent, you know. They were over 500, but you know, they lost 4 in a row. The Pelicans 6 in a row, but Zion and Brandon Ingram isn't playing, so we ain't really expecting nothing from them. And the Rockets, well, they lost 8 in a row. They're fighting for next year's draft, so we don't have to say anything more about that. Another thing that is interesting in the West, a couple players that I thought would have either kept how they're going or taking a leap are struggling a bit, and some of those players are Damian Lillard for one, Daryl Fox and Michael Porter Jr. Now Lillard, people were saying that Lillard the new rules were bothering him. In my opinion, I think he's just missing. Like, he's not hitting any jumpers. Like, I was looking at his stats, right? So Damian Lillard is not Steph Curry in terms of efficiency, right? He usually shot for his career like 43, right? He's currently shooting 35% from the field and 25% from 3. That's worse than Westbrook. Granted, probably not that worse, but it's in that range, and that's a lot about me. So, like, I think he had a good game against the Lakers, so I think he'll bounce back. He's trending in the right direction. His thing is just more his shot not hitting right now. It's a little strange, but his shot will eventually get back there. Daryl Fox, I thought he made a leap last year. He averaged 25 last year. He's down to 18 points, 39% from the field, and this one might actually be worse than Westbrook. Shooting 18%. That one actually might be worse than Westbrook. And the last person, this one's a big shocker for me, Michael Porter Jr. With Murray being out from the start, I really thought that he would come out, especially that he signed a new contract. I really thought that he would come out the gate like a little better than I expected. He's averaging 9.9 points per game. Like, I was really, really shocked about that. A little disappointed because he's on my fantasy team, but he's averaging 30. He's shooting 37% from the field, 21% from 3, and 56% from the free throw line. He recently got a back injury, which is not a good sign for him considering his past problems by injuries. But you know, it's not looking too good. But it's a small sample size, so hopefully, you know.
Yeah, he'll bounce back. I don't think he will stay down there for long.
He better not, because he on my fantasy team, so he will let you do better.
Yeah, I can see him saying, okay, I got to bounce back because I'm on Kelan's fantasy. Yeah.
I hope so. I hope he's thinking about me.
Yeah. Okay, so what I really want to talk about is the Warriors.
Yeah.
The Warriors, I watched some games of the Warriors. Warriors playing like, you know, like it is Saturday morning at St. Michael's. I mean, like they're just playing. They're just doing the dog. I just don't. I'm trying to.
I confused too.
When Clay comes back, if they will be better, or if they can have problems because they're gonna find Clay now for a lot of people.
My thing is, right, I feel like Clay is one of those guys where if
you get to acclimate,
and for he can fit into almost any system. So, like, I don't feel that'll be as much of a problem. Plus, so he was already there, so it's not like he's a new player. Like, the system is still the same. So, I think, like, I don't want that. They're just Like as you said, they're just playing and they're just beating people. No, they have some easy teams. No, and I will comfortable saying you can only play who's in front of you. So like you can say like, oh, they ain't playing, but they're not playing the teams, and they have beaten some quality teams. They beat the Hornets, the league pass must see TV Hornets. So I think that's good with it. But funny enough, that leads me into they're also my team in the week. Now, this one was a little close, a little close. I had another team that I can talk about a little later that could be in contention for that. Right now, the Warriors are actually first in offense, as in points per game, and defensive rating, which is they're just going out and playing, just casually being the best team in the league. They have apparently a 13.7 net rating, which I saw on Twitter would be the best in history if it keeps up. I don't think it will, but pretty impressive. Yeah. And one last note about the Warriors, Jordan Poole. This last week, right? He was this close to making player of the week. He was this close. He's having 27 points per game last week on 57% shooting and 47% from three. Like he was killing last week. But the reason why he doesn't get played the game is this person, Paul George. No, I said earlier that the Clippers started out 1-4. They're now 5-4. They won 4 games this week. I was slightly tempted to put them as the team of the week, but the Warriors are on such of a roll that I let them have. He averaged 26 points per game, basically 9 rebounds and 7 assists. It wasn't terribly efficient, but at the same time, he has to carry a team that, if you look at the rest of the stats, isn't really playing that well, and Kawhi is also out. So I give him the player of the week. But Warriors.
So your team of the week was Warriors.
The Warriors, but player of the week
was the player of the week.
Shout out to PG-13.
Okay, so that is East and West. Of course, we have to do our look.
I know.
Last week was not a very good week for Mr. Avenger number 2.
I know.
Who really wants to be Avenger number 1, but he'll leave us. He had one of them last week.
Yeah, I know that was tough.
Yeah.
I know that was tough. I know it was tough. I remember saying years, and I was like, oh my God.
One still continues to be the top picker here, and I was just on for the ride. So we had 1 of 5 for Kelan, 4 or 5 for Tehron, and I was 3 of 5. So now Mr. Avenger number 1, Tehron King, now is 13 of 15. And Kelan is 7 of 15, and I'm 10 of 15. So we'll see how it goes now next week. So the games coming up for the next 5 is on Tuesday. We're looking at Milwaukee at Philly. Now that's a top game. So I will start with you, Tehron, because I see Kelan hold on head, so that means that he have no clue who he can pick.
That game is honestly a toss-up. It depends on. I'm not exactly sure who is playing for Milwaukee right now. I think Drew Holiday is playing.
But Middleton, I think I don't know if he's gonna be back by then, but I know he's out right now.
Middleton?
Yeah, I don't know if he's playing, but
I honestly feel I have to give the edge to the 76ers for the way they've been playing right now.
Okay, so 76ers for Tehron. And you, Kelan, you guys 76ers too, or?
Well, no, because I think I know something that Tehron doesn't know. Embiid is in protocol, so I think it Bucks.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Nah, but
yeah. No, you can't say it.
Kelan is in Bucks.
Change it.
Sorry.
I'm going Bucks. There's no way I'm picking that.
I was good. I'm sorry. On the normal circumstance, I'm behind right now. I need to get every advantage I can until you finish.
On Wednesday, we got Dallas at Chicago.
Oh, Bulls are really not easy. Bulls are really not easy.
Yeah, you got Bulls.
Okay, so they're all Bulls.
I mean, Bulls.
DeRozan. We play for the Bulls anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I get with the Bulls too.
Top me 3.
On Thursday is Indiana at Utah.
Jazz.
That'll toss up, boy.
Okay, so that's Jazz for Kelan.
I got with Jazz too. I got with Jazz too.
I can't get with Jazz too.
Yeah, I have
On
to go with Jazz.
Friday, Detroit is at Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Detroit is at
Cleveland.
everybody go Cleveland.
Cleveland.
And then Saturday, Portland is at Denver. Now this is a very decent game.
I actually have looked at Denver for. Funny enough, I haven't looked at Denver for the season, but I'm actually he have to play them tonight, so I'm gonna get to see them. Portland was really bad. Portland was really bad. I'm gonna go Denver.
Okay, you're going Denver. How about you, Kelan? You going Denver too?
Nah, I get Portland. I'm going Portland.
Portland. If I have to choose, I can go Denver. Okay, so that
There's a slight problem here.
Pardon me?
It's a slight problem because if I trying to catch ground, I can't be picking the same thing as one of them. That I can get it right or you get it wrong. So like I can't.
Lucky boy.
It is a slight problem. But I feel like that's at least one with that Portland Nuggets game. I think win that one.
I don't know, bro.
Well, I am glad that you feel so confident having been behind the pack. So
Michael Porter Jr. is out.
Yeah, so we will see how that goes. So I want to thank the two Avengers for coming on and again and in the paint and giving us some valuable information on the East and the West and their pick 5. So right now, court in session is adjourned.